This is getting frustrating. Manifestation is keeping you broke, and I'm going to explain why. And this sounds pretty ironic from somebody who has a channel that teaches you how to manifest a new reality, particularly a new financial reality. Let me explain. Manifestation is real. Manifestation is simply the theoretical or imagined made real. So you manifest every day. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you get dressed, you make some breakfast. This is all manifestation. It's something you do all the time, unconsciously. So if I told you to draw a stick figure right now, you would envision the stick figure in your mind and then draw it. So you have taken the theoretical or an idea and brought it into reality. That's all manifestation is. So manifesting is very much an actual thing. But the business of manifestation, for so many people, is disingenuous. I want you to really ask yourself, how much time have you spent scouring the internet looking for the newest manifestation technique because the one you found last week isn't working? How many times have you bounced from one guru to another, to another, to another, yet your life has not changed? You get more and more desperate. You try more and more fringe things that you think are weird, silly, or downright destructive, and nothing changes. But something is changing. The confidence you have in yourself to change your reality. I understand this. I've been here. I have been on what I call the manifestation wheel. It usually starts with something like The Secret, the Law of Attraction, which does have validity to it. But then stuff isn't working and your life isn't changing, and you just start doing more and more stuff to the point where you're writing intentions in the snow and hoping that the moonlight brings your desires to you. Don't laugh, okay? I've been here, but you are changing. You just get filled with more and more doubt. And this is because you've gotten yourself trapped in a loop, the loop of manifestation techniques. And there are people online who have built massive popularity off of this. And they understand that you believe you're just one technique away. So if they have new techniques every week for you to try, you will stay hooked. You, my friend, are addicted, and your drug is hope. Now, I'm not here to be all doom and gloom. I'm not that guy. I'm here to dispel a lot of the crap you've been taught and show you the principles that actually make things work for you. How do I know it works? Because my personal network spans over 4,000 people at this point. Every single day, I see people earn ridiculous amounts of money, get more fit, have better relationships, constantly. Success leaves clues that I'm going to share with you. But first, I need to debunk some of the problematic programming you have absorbed. And you need to stick with me on this video because some of this programming is so deeply ingrained that you're going to fight to hold on to it. I asked myself if I was going to make this video some big edited thing, but I just need you to listen to me, okay? You might try and fight this, but that's really your current frequency, your current reality, trying to hold on to what it knows. The universe likes homeostasis. Frequency likes things to be the same. It doesn't want you to change, but you're going to change. So let's get into it. Have you ever heard, just think positive and money will come? Oh boy. Am I going to get through this video or am I just going to turn off my camera? Listen, positive thinking is important. It really is. But plenty people positively think themselves into poverty. There is no good without bad, no light without dark. This is the law of polarity. If you live on one side of a polarized spectrum, you will deal with the law of rhythm in massive ways. This means that when you actually get hit with negative emotion or negative thoughts, it's going to derail your life a lot. I have a friend who's incredibly positive, incredibly optimistic, which is a good thing. But something happened in his life which was terrible, some really bad relationship stuff, and it was just not good. And he fell off the face of the earth for months. I couldn't call him. I couldn't text him. I was worried if he had passed away. And he got hit with something so devastating that it put him out of commission for a long time. The pendulum swing to the left is the pendulum swing to the right. You need to learn how to use both positive and negative emotions. Then you really start to manipulate reality. But more on that later. Also, you can't just think your way into wealth. Sorry. Thinking is involved. The mind is involved. Everything does begin with the mind. But without action, even the best intentions are going to fall flat. Now, some of you may hear this and tune out right now. This is because only 5% of the world is action oriented. This is data according to NASA, okay? 5% of the world is action oriented. The rest are categorized into feelings, fun, facts, imagination, and values. These are communication styles and what drives people. Only 5% are action oriented. But if you don't take action, whatever you're thinking is going to fall flat. This is because of the law of correspondence. Spiritual, mental, and physical are all connected. The physical realm is action oriented. I want you to ask yourself, when something unexpected happened in your life, if there was zero action involved, let's say you met the love of your life at the library, if people still go to those things, you may say to yourself, oh, well, they just showed up in my life. I didn't have to do anything. No, you had to go to the library. Let's say you're a woman and the love of your life speaks to you at this library. He had to go and speak to you. So I need to tell you why plenty of people who teach you these techniques don't want you to think there's any action involved. Because it doesn't sell and it doesn't get views. Let me tell you something. Everyone can earn a lot of money. If you are watching this video, you have the privilege of being able to earn a lot of money, especially if you live in a country that has a lot of upward mobility. Particularly countries in the West have upward mobility. But many people simply won't do it because they won't adapt their minds to take the action necessary to change their lives. Now, my YouTube feed has manifestation videos pop up now because I'm in this space. I never used to be, because I didn't know people were as into this to the degree I eventually discovered they were into it. But I saw a thumbnail that said something along the lines of, I manifested some big amount of money without doing anything. I couldn't even click it. I couldn't even watch it. I was like, this is going to screw so many people. So many people are going to watch this and waste their potential. And it's honestly sad. And I see them pop up everywhere. But the irony is that these creators are taking actions to earn money. They make YouTube videos. You think making YouTube videos isn't an action? You're getting finessed. Okay? Now, I don't think they're doing this out of malice. I just think they're misinformed. I think they were taught by people who were either misinformed themselves or misinform them, and then they go out and teach people. But they're not doing what they teach. They're taking action. You go watch one of these videos and they give you instructions on not taking action. Like, this is all things being carried out. This is people doing stuff. This is why, if you watch my videos, I'm very transparent about how I made significant amounts of money. I made significant amounts of money as a talent manager in the adult business. I tell people what I did so you can make your own decision. You want to go do what I did? Go ahead. I don't recommend it, but if you're going to go do it, I can teach you, but that's going to be expensive because I don't really want to do that, right? I'd much rather do this and put a different type of energy into the world, an energy that I think is better for society and better for people. But my point is that these people are not being transparent, and it might not even be because they are hiding something. They simply don't know they're not being transparent. And it's rather sad because I know a lot of people are desperate and hurting and get drawn to this sort of content. And I know because I once felt like this. I fell into all of it and it just made me more broke. But don't worry, okay? By the end of this video, you're going to remove all of this nonsense and get what will actually work. Now, there is something I often see which is not necessarily nefarious. It can work, but it's a tiny bit misguided and it can actually limit you. And that is thinking about a specific amount of money that you want to manifest. I've seen this pop up a lot. Now, I actually teach my clients to price up their ideal lifestyle. I have a tool that helps them do it. But I don't do that so they focus on a number. I do that so they understand that their ideal life is not as expensive as they think it is. It makes it a bit more obtainable. It seems more real. And the logical brain accepts it more. The subconscious doesn't gawk at it because it's believable. But here's the problem. When you focus on one specific number, your logical mind ends up regularly comparing it to where you are now, and you can deal with something called dissociation. Now, depending on your psychological traits, everybody has different ones. Big Five Ocean strategy: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Depending on your psychology, dissociation will affect you in different ways. Me, I have no problem with dissociation. I can think of making hundreds of millions of dollars and not necessarily be dissociated. But if you're like higher in neurosis, you might be like, this is nonsense, right? So it does depend on your personality type. You don't want to dissociate, okay? Because it just makes the subconscious be like, this ain't happening. And the logical mind be like, this ain't happening. What you're better off doing is envisioning your ideal state of life. When you're envisioning that life, you already have the money necessary to live that ideal state. So what do I mean by this? When I was 15 or 16 years old, I knew what I wanted my life to be at 30. I'm 31 now, but I didn't necessarily know how much this life would cost. I just knew where I wanted to be, and over time, I manifested that reality. Almost everything I said in my music, because I come from the music industry originally, from the age of about 15 to 28, has happened. Now, I didn't know how it would happen. I didn't know what specific number it was, but if I limited it to a number, I would limit the chances of getting more. So let's say you want to make $30,000 a month. Then you start thinking about what your life would be like at $30K a month. Why wouldn't you just envision a lifestyle and connect to the feelings of that and then have the potential to earn $50K a month? Don't limit yourself, because you don't know what could happen. The universe is unlimited. Your mind technically is limited. And you got to understand that lifestyle and wealth is relative. So there's actually a lot of room for flexibility with this type of stuff. You don't need to be rigid when it comes to envisioning the possibilities. But you do need to be rigid in other ways though, because the maximum level of order is going to create the maximum levels of freedom. And we'll talk about that now with this next thing I need to shift your mind on. Act like you're already rich. Whew, yo, man. This one is good because it's such a smart and slick, nefarious little thing. You see, when I see smart psychological tactics, I have to tip my hat to them because it's just so well done. And it makes sense when you get into these spaces. So many people here act like you're already rich, and then they use it as an excuse to be financially irresponsible. Let me ask you a serious question, okay? Me and you right now. Is the ideal version of you, the rich version of you, financially irresponsible? Is the rich version of you responsible with their money or irresponsible with their money? You can answer. Actually, leave the answer in the comments. The rich version of me is financially responsible. So acting like you're already rich would mean that you act in a financially responsible manner, wouldn't it? But once again, that's not going to help me earn money. If I tell you to be financially responsible, how am I supposed to sell you a $30,000 package when you only have $30,001? It's bad for business. So you know what? I'll tell you something about manifestation. I'll tell you to act like you're already rich. I'll tell you that the rich version of you would spend that $30,000 in a heartbeat because they are so abundant. You got a lack mentality, girl. Don't let that seep in. You got to spend your last because that's how you manifest. I have to give it to these people, man. It's very good. Psychologically, I got to tip my hat to them because that is good work for real. But they count on the fact that you won't critically think about these things because they get you emotionally stirred up. And then you don't realize that the rich version of you is rich in part due to the fact that you're financially responsible. Now, speaking of responsibility, some people never seem to realize how responsible they really are for their reality. They're told the universe will provide, which is true. Okay, everything originates from the universe, God, the All, Allah, Jehovah, whatever you believe in. But here's the thing. God doesn't just go handing stuff out. You got to meet God halfway. Here's what you need to deeply understand. God is a non-judgmental, impersonal energy, which means God is not a person. God does not judge. People judge. What we determine as God's judgment is really the laws of the universe at work. Usually the law of rhythm or the law of causation. If you don't yet know what these laws are, just watch my Kabbalion Well series where I break them all down for you in depth. But the laws of the universe are mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, causation, and gender. But back to how most people think about God. God is not a man sitting in the sky determining who gets stuff and who doesn't get stuff. The problem is humans have a very difficult time extrapolating things outside of themselves. This is why all the ancient deities and gods, they're personified. But back to how God operates and how the universe provides. Your reality is determined by your frequency. If you've been in this space, you understand this. It's common. Your frequency is like an order number to the universe. The universe matches up with your order number and sends your reality to you. Which means this is a two-way street. You have to have the right order number so you can get the right order. So let me ask you something. When you want to get something from Amazon, do you just think, Amazon, bring me the package? If that's how Amazon works, I'm missing out. Y'all might be able to teach me something. But what most of us do is get on the app, find what we want, put it in our cart, or one-click order it, and then we get the details, and it shows up at our place. Now, if you didn't notice, that all involved action. That all involved doing something. Now, here's the thing. The universe does respond to your thoughts. Everything does begin with the mind. If you want to be a fit person, it first starts with your thoughts. Because you have to think about going to the gym, then actually go to the gym, then actually go work out. Here's the thing. Your frequency is built from your habits. You don't just get fit. You become a fit person through your habits. You don't just get rich. You become rich from your habits. This is what changes your frequency in the most practical ways. And a lot of people will sit there and say, yeah, but somebody won the lottery randomly. It didn't have anything to do with their habits. Let me tell you something. Anomalies exist in the world. They exist. I'm not acting like they don't exist, but I don't want to teach you what's rare. I want to teach you what works. Okay? If on average, if 99% of people get fit by thinking about going to the gym, working out, doing progressive overload over time, and eating well, if 99% of people do that, wouldn't it be fair to say that if you do that, it's probably going to work? Also, plenty of people who win the lottery just instantaneously like that lose all the money because of the law of rhythm. As soon as they got it, as soon as they lose it. That's due to the law of rhythm. They were never a rich person to begin with. They never had the habits of riches. So they just lose the money. But back to habits. Okay. And changing your frequency. This has to do with something that the manifestation space hates to tell you. Come, let me tell you before they hear us. Shh. Come. Oh man, they might be listening. Discipline. The manifestation space hates this word. Why? Because it removes the easy factor. If it's not easy, you won't watch their videos telling you to not do anything so you can get rich while they make YouTube videos and get rich. But here's the thing. Let me explain what discipline is on a level of vibration and frequency. What you need to understand is, like I said before, your frequency likes homeostasis. It does not want to change. So when you have to muster a little bit of discipline to carry out an action, it goes, no, don't do that. That's hard. That's going to make us uncomfortable. Don't do that. Come sit down, watch TV, eat some chips. No. Come on, no. Don't business. Don't start that business. That's going to be hard. I like it here. You like it here. Just relax. It's fine. That's what your current frequency does to you. Okay? Discipline is the energy required to move from one frequency to another. Just like a lack of discipline will either keep you at your current frequency or spiral you down. And here's the thing. Nearly every single one of these techniques you learn every single week requires a level of discipline. Do you just meditate one time and everything changes? Do you just read affirmations one time and everything changes? Do you just automatic write one day and suddenly you're a multimillionaire? Did you do that? Oh, okay. Me neither. Me neither. Welcome to the club. No, you need to have discipline because that's what moves your frequency. And here's the thing about discipline. It's only for a short period of time. Eventually, what took discipline, it becomes a habit, and habits are easy. Do you need discipline to brush your teeth? I certainly hope not. But when you were a little kid, maybe you did need discipline to brush your teeth. Maybe your parents had to go brush your teeth. It's bedtime. Now you don't need to do that. And that's what will happen with your frequency. It will be easy. This is why they talk about ease all the time. Rich people make money easy. It's easy. It's easy. Because it's a habit. Habits are things you just end up doing. The old frequency, it's going to try to hold you back. So you just use a little discipline and you reach the new frequency and then you maintain it with your habits. This is how you meet God halfway. Proverbs chapter 6 verse 6. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise. Now remember when I said we would get back to that talk about negative thoughts all the way at the beginning of this video? Well, now it's time to sort this out for you. The manifestation space will tell you to have zero negative thoughts, zero negative emotions, zero anything negative. Let me tell you something. Positive cannot exist without negative. Trying to prevent yourself from having any negative thoughts or feelings is not only exhausting, but it's a bigger waste of time than trying to count all the grains of sand in the Sahara Desert. You're allowed to have negative feelings. You're allowed to have negative thoughts. It's what you do with those thoughts that matter. The manifestation space tries to keep you in your thoughts, all in your head. Do you know what negative thoughts are called that live in your head for a long time? Depression. You need to embrace what you feel and redirect it to something useful. If I am sad, I will write. If I'm angry, I will work out or put more effort into my work. If I am happy, I'll come up with new ideas. This is alchemy. This is the real alchemy. Moving your emotions into action, into things that change your reality. Emotions are impersonal. They're just energy. Okay, the Romans called emotions motus animi, which simply means motions of the mind. It's energy moving around in your head. You can choose to either let it live there and mess you up or do something with it. Every emotion is energy and every emotion is fuel. Remember, I told you that you need to do things to change your frequency. You need to develop habits to change your frequency. So take your emotions, positive or negative, and use them as fuel to shift your habits. And in turn, you'll shift your frequency. Now, near the beginning of this video, I said I was going to tell you what actually works, and I am. Because if I was over here just debunking this stuff, you would be here for half an eternity. Now, what I'm going to tell you, it's not a technique. Sorry. It is principles. The principles always work because they are immutable. So what does that mean? It means unchanging over time or unable to be changed. These things are timeless. So for instance, a principle of wealth is to spend less than you earn. It's pretty obvious. Now, the laws of the universe are a little less simple, but they're simple still, because simplicity succeeds and complexity crumbles. The world will try to make you think that because something is complex and you don't understand it and all of this, that it's better, when it's not the case. Truth is simple. The universe is simple. There are 7 principles that govern the universe, and they're quite difficult to argue with. Besides one of them, because part of one of them is an idea of what God is, and that's up to debate all the time. And I mentioned them before, but in case you weren't listening, they are mentalism. The all is mind. That's the one I'd say is up for debate and discussion because it's an idea of what God is. Part of it is an idea of what God is. Then you have correspondence. As above, so below. Everything is connected, spiritually, mentally, and physically. What happens in your mind is reflected into your physical reality. For instance, if you feel down, your body language will likely change. Over a prolonged period of time of feeling down, your entire body will change. This is why people they'll gain weight or they'll lose a bunch of weight. And they'll be like, I wasn't in a good mental space. Yeah, because mental and physical and spiritual are connected. Your vibe, which is your spirit, is going to change if you're down all the time. So spiritual just refers to the unseen. Your vibe, it lives there. And science might not be able to explain what vibe is, but we can all feel it. something is just off with this person, or something is great about this person. Spiritual, mental, physical, it's all connected. The third principle is vibration. So everything's moving, nothing is still in the universe. This is scientifically proven. Besides the point of creation, which is the God energy, which is the ultimate synthesis of polarity, vibration, all of the principles. So it's basically moving so fast that it's not moving at all. It's immeasurable. So it's basically still. So if you read Psalms 46:10, it says, "Be still and know that I am God." Fourth law is polarity. Everything is dual in the universe, hot and cold, light and dark, soft and hard, etc. But polarities are just a spectrum. And when you reach the furthest points of the spectrum, the same things end up happening. So at the maximum levels of heat, you're going to instantly be toast. And the maximum levels of cold, you're going to instantly freeze. I live in Canada, so I know what that's like. But both equal bye-bye for you. The furthest spectrums result in the same outcome. Rhythm, fifth principle. Everything has its ebb and flow. The tides go in and out. The earth spins in rhythm. The sun and moon show up in rhythm. You breathe in rhythm. Your heart beats in rhythm. Everything has its rhythm. Your money should have rhythm too, but that's a different talk. Sixth, we have causation, which is just simple cause and effect, self-explanatory, and gender. Everything has masculine and feminine energy. They are an energy. They don't have to do with men and women, although men tend to display traits of masculine energy and women tend to display traits of feminine energy. Masculine is a giving or projecting energy. Feminine is a receiving energy. If you talk, if you speak, that is a masculine projection. The person listening is doing feminine receiving. So now that you know the principles, all you have to do is use them with whatever technique works for you. So if you hear some sort of technique, you need to ask yourself, does this line up with the principles of the universe? So if somebody tells you, do nothing and you'll manifest $1 million, you have to sit there and say, well, that doesn't fit with the laws of the universe. Why? Because first of all, it's going to keep you in the same rhythm. You already learned that you need to shake up your rhythm to change your frequency. You need new habits, new actions that you do. Don't get fooled into thinking that you jumping from technique to technique is going to shake up your rhythm. It's not, because all you've done is built a rhythm of jumping from technique to technique. You don't stick with anything. You're better off finding one that fits with the laws of the universe and then go and do stuff. The word technique, it comes from the Greek word technikos, which means art or craft. Art and craft are subjective, which means you can damn near make up your own technique as long as it fits within the principles of the universe and inspires you to do things. So if you want to do affirmations, just do the affirmations. Then go take actual action based on those affirmations. Go do stuff. If you want to earn money, stop listening to these people who are finessing you and telling you to simply meditate in your bed and you'll break your income ceiling. Because they are not doing that. They're making YouTube videos. They're doing stuff. I am doing stuff. I am putting stuff into the universe. I am putting out a masculine projection, which is these YouTube videos, which you watch and receive. They make videos and YouTube pays them. YouTube pays me. They make courses and get paid. They have retreats and get paid. They do speaking events and get paid. They are doing stuff. Look at what people do, not only what people say. If what people say is out of congruence with what they do, then they're finessing you, and you're smarter than that. Happy New Year. Peace. So this came to my mind as I was editing this video. Y'all might be saying like, yo, Seth, you sell stuff. That's hypocritical. I didn't say selling anything was a scam. Selling things aren't a scam. But my program, The Next Realm, is based on the laws of the universe. So I'm not over there trying to teach you manifestation techniques. You can do whatever it is you like. I will show you some things I have done, but really The Next Realm is built in practical implementation. 23 steps that you literally follow to earn more income with your skill or things you already know. If you don't have the particular skills necessary to make the money online, those are the things I'm teaching you. And it's all based in universal law. So if you were wondering about The Next Realm, it's not something that's going to have you sit and do, meditation, manifestation technique of, I don't know, writing affirmations in the snow like I did. That's not what it is. It's practical knowledge that you can implement. So that's what I do. So if you're interested in that, the link is in the description below. And the value finder shall help you find your true core value so you can build a business off of that or earn more income based off of that. That is free. And I just wanted to say in this new year, thank you guys. Because a couple months ago, I was at under 800 subscribers on YouTube. Now I'm over 5,000, and we've built a little community here, and I intend to make it continue to grow. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in, checking out the videos, watching this video to the end if you have. And yeah, that's that. See you next time. Happy New Year. Peace.